Today we are talking about the screening exercise for health impact assessment. Screening for health impact assessment. We took care of the scoping and your questions were good. Keep the questions flowing even now so that we can look at it and thank Prof for answering Melina's question. Thank you very much for answering the question. So we dive into screening. Screening basically means how to decide whether to conduct an HIA, and if yes, to conduct, to what extent, or to what comprehensiveness. Is it comprehensive or rapid or desktop, as the case may be? That's what we're going to be looking at in this module 25 for screening. So screening, like I said at the introduction, is preliminary evaluation to determine whether a proposed project is likely to pose any significant health questions and whether the HIA is needed at all, and if it is needed, to what extent. So screening should be based on a complete description of project characteristics and potential impact. What is the characteristic of this project? Or it can be a project description by engineers to detail every stage of the project, the analysis of the flow chart from raw material perhaps to finished product, from vegetation clearing to all of the activities that has to be done in the field, and then to project decommissioning. Such description, if it is available, or such project characteristic, if it is available, that forms the basis for screening. So when it is screened, we know if we evaluate to determine if the project has some health impact or if it doesn't at all. Where it doesn't at all, there will be no need undertaking an HIA. But where there is significant impact, then an HIA is to be considered. Okay, so we will look at, for this, we are looking at these two factors. What triggers a comprehensive HIA? That's where HIA is needed. And what is rapid HIA or desktop HIA, and how do you go about it? Okay, again, we are using the IFC handouts for HIA as a guide for this webinar. Okay, so for what factors trigger a comprehensive HIA? Significant influx concerns. If the project is going to have high influx of people, high influx of interest in a particular community that have been lying quiet and peaceful and serene, if the community have enjoyed this and the project is coming up, which of course should have some benefits to the community. However, it will be having some impact as well. So the impact can be health related, and the influx of people can be responsible for relevant impacts regarding health. So significant resettlement or relocation of communities is also a factor that could trigger a comprehensive health impact assessment. Significant construction phases, like I said in the introduction, when we have the project characteristics or the project activities, then we have to check the significance of the stages of the project, including the construction phases. Okay, so prominent and new linear features with emphasis on road transportation is also a factor that could trigger a comprehensive HIA. Large projects in rural settings is also a factor that can trigger the a comprehensive HIA. So we take each point one after the other. These are a few factors, but factors should be considered from a comprehensive HIA characteristics. Don't forget, due to potential impact. So also an issue to consider, which I didn't capture here. So the handout mentions this, but it's more elaborate than this. Community concerns could also trigger a comprehensive HIA. So influx can occur due to job seeking, commercial opportunities, trading, and so on. Regardless of the cause, significant influx it can put a major strain on fragile local infrastructure and existing vulnerable populations. So it's developing new guidance notes for evaluating and managing both environmental health and social risk that communities could get exposed to due to influx of people. For impact, resettlement baseline data, it is unlikely that the ASIA, that's the environmental impact. Construction phases include new major construction or expansion of existing facility that may involve large temporary workforce, often located at multiple works. Area of influence may be comprising large and not confined to the immediate host community. Hence, the spontaneous settlements populated by camp followers are sure to develop or interest in the project. Job seekers are likely to be to the site or follow the workers camp followers are those in the ratio of worker to camp follower is unknown. It can even be larger. Okay. So prominent and new linear features with transmission is ecological and human communities from community to community because of the linear feature, the linear projects. When they are linear, like road plan. So you get to see that many communities are going to be impacted, and of course, variety of ecological concerns will arise along the linear path or the corridor of the project. Okay. Patterns can particularly be an issue of concern. Particularly the increase in long haul truck trips can be a significant issue during all of a project. Impacts include changes in transmission, sexually transmitted diseases, increases in accidents and exposure because what else factors. So when there is an locals are also coming around, so you can also go up high and greater exploration. for a comprehensive health impact assessment for such a project. So changes in transport corridors are important from both a social and a disease transmission dynamic, because the spread of disease, for example, STIs, sexually transmitted infections, can be dramatically facilitated by the influx of job seekers, like I said earlier. So although impact, therefore, we review an analysis. With this list, we have large projects in rural setting. Basically, the existing public health systems in rural areas may be weak or non-existent or moribund or not financed, and the underlying burden of disease in local communities is high, is very high. Therefore, although in thematically review the available data in the host community health information, is appropriate to exercise caution when using the existing databases and misreporting of disease burdens in rural areas, especially in Africa. So rural health will not necessarily be captured in the reported health statistics that you may get from the HIS, that is the health information system available. Reliance on HIS data can be illustrated, for instance. Fever, once you have fever in a local community, it is believed that it is malaria. People go for treating malaria even without testing what precisely is the cause of the fever. It's reported HIS available. If object, it can fall. So there cannot be over-reliance on the HIS, health information system of the state. So therefore, a project that used the reported local statistics as a baseline will demonstrate significant post-project improvement by simply improving its ability to accurately diagnose common diseases such as malaria. Okay, so we should move forward. What factors? Okay. Oh, we have handled this. We go HIA. HIA does not mean that significant HIA only applies that new field data collection efforts are not expected, because a careful availability of this. The health surveys, such as demographic health surveys, cluster surveys, core welfare indicators questionnaire, as you can see, or living standards measurement surveys, LSMS, may have been performed according to Rothsin and Justin 2004. And have large sample sizes. Sub-Saharan Africa and Asia may not be 100% relied upon because of sampling sizes. The CWIQ survey has been performed on a limited dome. However, many countries use this survey as a basis for performing their own national surveys. Nevertheless, to specific project locations, because the number of samples obtained in a given geographical location very, very small. The proposed project areas sometimes available free of it, particularly with regards to data. So the project may have some access to academic or government demographic surveillance sites with comprehensive coverage too. It should be looked into for such sources, and the reliability confirmed before it can be applied to the project. I hope I'll use an email or info@richflood.com. So you participants are dropping. Please go ahead and profile the solutions so that